what I'm going to do at 8 o'clock is have a minute silence for our Liz. Well, it's not. Well, it is a silence because I wanted to get quiet. But basically, it's just a tribute to me, my best gaffer I've ever had. So if I'm still talking a minute to 8, somebody remind me. But I've got my clock in front of me, just in case I forget. Right, let's get going. This is one of the best signs I've seen during the week. I've nicked that. I should have that everywhere. Schools, council buildings, a lot. Teach peace. This was Russian 2 weeks ago. As you can see there, we were doing the Zoom, and that's just like a mother, relaxing. Jeffrey put this on. I think this was last week or something. Am you on, Jeffrey? One of his long carrots. Probably that seed he had off, or I got off Yo Rolling. Off Marcus Powell. So he's done well with that.
I didn't know you were giving it. I thought you was giving it him this year when he come to your show.
I'd got that for him. But I sent him some 2 years ago.
Oh.
So he must have had the last ones out of that.
Oh, well, he's done well with them.
Yeah. He also put this on. Who can guess the way to the pumpkin stock manager, Jeffrey Grew. Take a bit in the. So that's his local work. So he's bunged that on and all. And Mad Dave in Chesterfield, he got all his blanch leaks up and he's dishing these out for stock from different people. Put some corkers there. Nice and straight, uniform, white, nice blanch. Beautiful. This is Dave's back garden. He's revamping it. Keep the peace with Lynn. This is another strawberry bed. He's done by the side of his greenhouse. And his clematis he's put in. Nice, large colour. Nice, bright. Steve Medlicott put this on during the week, so I've nicked that and all. Back off all and pick these. Not many more to cut, but some nice gladdies there. Plus, I'm going to take these off yesterday or day before. But what show was it? I can't remember. But our mate Nigel Coe got best 500 grand champion spot, took a pink. Superb, chuffed to bits for him. And he'd also got best 200, Joe. Well done, Nigel. Just to round it off, we got a best arrangement as well for Daddies. Excellent. Well done now, Nigel. That's weekend, so he will be on tonight. Also, Jerry, our fruit man, he's been quite a few shows judging just late the last couple of weeks, and this is at a talk he did. East Horsley Village Hall, wherever that is. But when I was chairman of the West Midlands District Association, the National Veg Society, I had Jerry to come and give us a talk. We had to go and pick him up from the train station. He don't drive. He trains everywhere. And this is Scott. He's just going to run through a couple of photos for us.
Yeah, not many. I just been away to Greece, and that's apparently that's what Bougainvillea should look like.
Oh, beautiful, are they?
Yeah, I know. Smashing. I know we've all seen them before, but I just struck by it. We were walking past his house, just couldn't believe the size of it. I was so pleased with mine this year.
Yeah.
It just it just shows you what the weather does, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's it. Warmth.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Just yeah. So I said I've got to take a couple of them. I said for the Zoom. So yeah.
Brilliant.
And now this was a plant. It was planted all around the hotel, and so we googled it, and it's a verbena, lantana, I think. I took that picture because this beautiful butterfly landed on it, which is a swallowtail butterfly, which I found out. But the plant is it exudes an aroma that mosquitoes don't like, apparently. So it says on Google. So that's why they're planting them all around the hotel to try and ward off the mosquitoes. So, but it was really pretty, and there was different coloured ones as well. But whether they do one for that will, be all right for the UK or not, I don't know. We're going to look into it. But yeah, really pretty plant.
Good idea.
Yeah. And that's what a prickly pear. I put my picture of my prickly pear up. That's what a fully grown plant looks like with the pears on. I know, it's mad. So you can eat the pears, apparently. My brother-in-law makes jam with them and stuff, but they're full of spines, so you have to take the spines off.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just in someone's garden. Again, we're walking past. So yeah. So I don't suppose mine will get that big, but
no, I don't think your missus will let you get it that big.
No. So I think there was one more. I think when that was done. Yeah, that was me harvest from the greenhouse yesterday morning or the Friday morning, whatever it was. And yeah, so the ones at the bottom there, that's the plant I give you, Mick, the curry one. That was Dacian hydroponics. The one in the mushroom tray on the green tray, that's out of the hydroponics as well. And then the others are just out of the other ones, but just shows you how many more you're getting. And there's hundreds more to pick on that hydroponics Fatali plant. That's amazing. So yeah, but yeah, I've had a good crop this year so far.
Good.
So the ones at the top they're called Joe Parkers. I think they're just the stuffing. There's no heat to them. We roasted a couple last night, really tasty. And yeah, so be nice for salads and stuff. So yeah, that was all, I think.
Lovely.
Just
cheers, Scott.
All right.
Nice mug.
Yeah, chilly mug.
Cheers, Scott, mate.
Oh, mate.
Right, now we got rolling. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, hang on. So I turn the mic on.
Good man.
All I'm doing really is playing about with my wormery. I'm using one of these. The only reason this picture's there is to show you what a can of wormery is, if people don't know. So what I've done is loaded the bottom tray with horse muck to get it started. And then, can you go to the next picture, Mick, please? Yeah, loaded it up with that, and I feed it basically on banana skins and sliced up marrows and courgettes. And you can see that the worms going balmy in there, breeding like mad. But what I'm really using it for is to breed worms, whereas I have two what I class as my wormeries for producing the worm cast. One is an old chest freezer and the other one's a bath. And of course, when you want to empty it, you got to move the worms. So I move the worms into this can of worms thing and get them breeding and plenty, so that when I've managed to finally get all the worms out of the other compost, I can get the compost out, restart the wormeries, and I've got all my worms here to go into them. The next picture is we've got a treat. The sister-in-law said, "Do you think your worms would eat the porridge oats?" I said, "Oh yeah, they do." So she got a bag of porridge oats, so I tipped them in there for them as well. And when I feed them, all I do is cover it with cardboard, corrugated cardboard that's wet. I have a bucket next to the wormery that's got corrugated cardboard in it, soaking all the while. So it's just a matter of lifting some out and throwing in. And that's really 2, 3. That's basically what I'm doing with the wormery to get enough worms to really restock the ones that make all the worm casts, like, you know, that's my breeding centre, if you like. And the next picture is different again. This is not nothing to do with worms at all, really. All the messing about I do and the homework, shall we say, I'm creating a lot of sawdust and shavings. And of course, where everybody says the wood shavings pull all the nitrogen out of the ground while they're rotting down, I come up with a bright idea of absolutely soaking them in liquid horse muck, or as I got it called, stallion juice. But I've soaked it in that, thinking that if I soak it in not high nitrogen to start with, would that help them rot down? And then would it help when I use? Really, this sort of picture is for discussion for everybody else's opinion. Am I doing it right, or anybody got any bright ideas for composting sawdust and fine wood shavings like these? Yeah, open it to everybody. Anybody got any?
Keep it moist and put a bit of soil in as well.
I'll keeping it moist. Obviously, I've got a tank of about 100 litres of liquid horse muck beside it. So
yeah,
it's
not
just
wringing wet. But just, you know, I don't let it dry out at all.
Yeah, and just
it's the same with the chicken shavings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They break down eventually.
Yeah. All I thought is that when I add it and do things with it, it won't rob the soil or whatever of the nitrogen because I've already added it to it. Am I on the right lines or what?
Yeah, as long as you don't go over the top with it. But if you're doing something else, it's just a trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is trial and error. Yeah.
You've got to have your nitrogen in there anyway, whether you put it in before or after. So yeah.
All I thought was it was the speed of it, rather than if I just load the sawdust, say, in the normal composting, because the normal composting that I do is layered with wood chips, lawnmower cuttings, horse shite, and then start again. And anything else that's going, if I've got an excess of food waste, that throws in there. When I shoot a lot of pheasants and all that and gut them all, I throw all the guts and the feathers in there, and stuff like that, and that all rots down, like, you know. But I didn't want to go and put all the sawdust in and pull the nitrogen out, if you're with me, and slow the other stuff down. That was the bright idea.
Once it starts breaking down, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that was the bright idea.
You want to get it broken down. You don't want to see the wood in there.
Yeah. But that was the bright idea of doing it like this, then to add it sort of already with nitrogen in it to the compost heap, like, you know.
Yeah, no, that should be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, that's that. Well, that's all I've got for today. Anyway, it really was the opinions of this, you know, and bright ideas. Am I doing it right? Like you say, obviously, I've got to keep it moist. And probably stir it with a fork and see if I can see it breaking down then.
How long do you leave it before you use it, Roland?
What, this?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've done this.
Right. With the chicken muck and whatever, and the shavings, and things like that. I put in a pile outside and I use it a year later.
Yeah, well, I've not. This is plain where I've put planks of wood through the planer thicknesser, and it's the shavings off of the wood. You know, when I had the chickens that was kept in a barn at one time, I used to just put ordinary multi-purpose compost all over the floor and let them squit all over it, and then use it as it was. You know, but it was just, you know, I've probably got that. There's probably about 75 litres of wood shavings in there, and I've probably got another 75 litres of fine sawdust from off of the chop saw and the table saw and all that, you know. And it was just, I thought I'm going to use it how do I use it right and speed it up, you know? And the thought was of adding obviously the stallion juice to it.
You want to mix it with the other stuff if you can.
Yeah, mix it.
So you've got it's watered down a little bit.
Maybe it might be an idea to when I put the ordinary wood chips, you know, that the people dump down there off of their wood chippers when they're cutting trees down. Maybe if I layered it in with that, because this has got the nitrogen, that probably make that rot down better and quicker, wouldn't it?
The more you can mix, the more ingredients, natural products, it's less work for the bacteria and fungi, you know, and the worms.
Yeah, that's what
that's how I work.
You know,
in moderation with everything.
Yeah, and see what I can do, you know.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, thanks for your input. That's me finished then, Mick.
Lovely, cheers, Rowley. Right, there's no Zoom last Sunday because of the reunion down Poppy. So I googled the boozer where he was going, and it was a ship Anson, and this is right outside the dockyard gates. The sea is right behind me. So that was the original ship Anson. Then they bought this and all, so they've extended it basically. And luckily for us, when we went down Sunday, premiering cheaper. Plus I had so many people about, but the sun was out and the sun was on this front all day. But this was just googling it because that was inside the boozer until it's a proper Matlow's pub because the ship's crests are all the way around. But this is what I was after, to see what beer they'd got, because I don't like lager, blows me up too quick. Cider, I'll be pissed too quick. John Smith's, I can last on that. It's a Boston drink. The Guinness I don't like. IPA is vile. But John Smith's, that's all I wanted to know on that one. This is our Ben and his sister. Yeah, you're right. Taking Russian, this was last week. Conkers have started dropping off. These are lasting, the kids are getting them during the night. But still picking me fruit for brekkies, unless it's a weekend, then have me fry up. We're going away again in November for another 60s weekend, 60 group, and it's Jane holidays. I must have been desperate because this was I was advertising in the Sun, and they've changed all the innards and all meaning. You'd pay one price and it'd be all inclusive, free beer, a good breakfast and a good tea, and now it's half price drinks, and they've brought the price down, meaning that no people ain't going to get so much money. But a good weekend, it's a good break. And my mate's back up the garden. There he is, taking the urine. Look at him. There's a bloody camera up, so he shits on it. Then he bobs his tongue out. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, he'd come back and he's lifted this out again. Dug all that lot up. And he's moved this lot out. Pushed it out the road. It's a bloody strong fox or a badger in disguise. So I thought, right, sod you. So we're our Credit Town Football Club, where all our show stuff is, the marquee and stage and that. I had some stakes down our plot, and I did the plot up and I moved them up. Because we use these spikes for holding help to hold the marquee down. So I got about 8 on them. So I bought some of them up. 2 normal spikes and 1 thicker. So back where we go. I'm gonna bung them 3 in there. Let's see you get through that eye water. Still spraying and feeding the beans and picking them regular. Busted. Scott Poudalia done well with them this year. I wish I could have had a couple of them for or at least 3 of them for our show. I think I'd only got 2 the same. I couldn't put a set of 3 in. But they've all bloody come now, ain't they? There's 2 left. But I'm still going well. I'm going loop. And you're right, Scott. You ain't got to stop them with nothing. They just throw loads of flowers. But love them. And the delphiniums have come back again. This is the second growth. We had winds and rain about 3 days ago. I splattered these. I just shake the rain off, which is a weight, and tie them back up again. But they've all done well. And I still say he's my best canner, because I like the variegated leaf. And when the sun's behind, as you can see there, beautiful. When it's not, you got your green in, but love it. So, yeah, full. Thanks for them anyway. International Canner Society, I'm into this group as well. They put these 2 on last week. How to preserve canner, or how to look after them, basically, the facts. So there's canners planted in the ground, and I'm doing that next year. If they've got a bit of protection, i.e. up against the fence, which they will be, you can leave them in, you ain't got to get them up. This will be on my YouTube tomorrow. So if you want to catch these 2 again, there's also canners in pots, i.e. which I'm doing now. But it's worth a read, and you've got if you need more info on the bottom. But I'm still into them. These are my Glad corblets. I think I had about 12 of these tubs. So I should have a few for next year. As you can see, them still coming through. Them are 2 friends. This is Leander. I think in the States it's called oleander. Just making out there. Last year I had no flowers on whatsoever. These are just starting to throw buds. A bit late in the year, but better than nothing, I suppose. Still feeding me grapes. In fact, still feeding everything. All my fruit, because I'm still using it. And my grapes, because I want them to go as far across these lines as possible. But later on, i.e. next year, the weight I'm going to get on here, it's going to be too much because I've only got a bit of wire in there. So I've got my old onion wires, which are nice and thick, or thicker than the wire I've got there. So it's going to replace this one here. As you see, it's about twice as thick, so obviously it's going to take twice as much weight. So there it is. Just left a bit of a gap so it brings down a bit, because that stem's going to grow wide and whatever. But any new shoots on in the leaf joints, they come straight off, because I want the length of that main stem ready for next year to give me grapes. And my little bonsai, Bougainvillea, I've brought him indoors. He's now in the living room to overwinter, because we've had a couple of cold nights and I don't want to lose him. When he comes back into life next year, because he's going to have very little, if any, water from now on. But when he starts up again next year, if I get nothing new shoots from the top, which is what I wanted him higher up. If I don't get nothing, then I should just chop him off and use him, or I should turn him round, take him out and turn him round. So that is pointing along here. But we'll see how we do. Rose still going loop. if I'd have had 3 of these ready for the show as well, I'd have put them in. I think I only had 2 out. And I put a set of 3 in. But this has come back again. Well, same as most things. Started back into life. And I ain't showing you Brenda's drawers next door. Just showing you a bit of colour. Every day they wash, even on a Sunday. Look at that Delph there. He's gone loose. Obviously, he's my first one, second, third. But still doing well. He's looking after me babies, still feeding them. Right, he come back again. So as I get through them stakes, he didn't. I'm still there. He didn't squeeze through. So he's either jumped over the fence or got in somewhere. But he dragged that out again, shall we see. And he's dug down here, and he's gone down about a foot. Obviously after the worms, because that's what he bloody eats. But he's bringing up half boulders. So I've got to job him. And I did have a quick perv. Well, he couldn't get underneath any road. He couldn't squeeze through that. So I thought, right, I'm going to grid everything. So now Ben, he's got a couple of stalls down in London on the marketplaces. He does on a Saturday. Does his cartoon work at home. He also goes around all folks homes, helps out with them or whatever. But he says, because he started doing a bit of gardens now, because there ain't many gardens in London. But all the old days he goes doing, and I said you got to be careful what you put in, because foxes are a pain in the arse in London. There's bloody hordes on them. And through trying ever said nothing you can do.
Mick,
Grew up with them.
Mick,
Yes.
soak your area with a strong solution of Jay's fluid every night for about 10
It's on one of the trays up here. Been doing it. And there's piddle and a chili mix.
No, not rid of mine.
Yeah. So I know them lot I'm okay, so I'll put that grid behind there as well. That's a bird's eye view looking at it. So I know that one's safe. But that was a crap he was digging up. Why? Well, then looking at the back of the shed. If he ain't jumping over, then he's getting in this road. But he's still got to jump over down there anyway. But this was wedged in solid, and he's moved that out of the way and all. So I've bunged that back in now, and that is secure. He ain't going to move that. Obviously the first runner bean, that's added. But I've got my other chaps in. I'm still doing well with them. Still feeding, so I'm still picking and I'm still spraying. Just to help the pollination of the flowers to set. Ascot's curry pepper. There's Paul's Carolina Reaper. These are putting a bit of meat on now. But the ball we had tonight, he had 3 Reapers off us. Somebody coming to pick up a few of these up and all during the week. Always like the Reapers. They do well.
The red mix.
I've got just on the end of the Sumar, I think there's a 2-turn red. Only little chaps.
Got some of the scorpions turned in red, but the green Reapers are massive good. No change it. Some corkers on there, man.
Yeah. Right, got me bags of leaves out. A couple of worms on the bottom, so I'm going to help them out. All I'm going to do. Don't forget it's a bacterium fungal on the breakdown that leaf mold, but you will still get worms in. So you can either use that as a mulch, all I'm going to do is break that up by hand, put it in another bag, and as you can see, there's loads of worms in. And all I'm doing, because this is dry out a bit, I'm going to give another good weight to it. And also I'm getting my wood chip out, my small wood chip, so there's no big lumps in, and that's been mixed with topsoil as well. So this is just going to be an ingredient for the compost later on. So it starts up dry, and put in there, and a drop of water in. Also topsoil, molehill if you can get it. That's your bacteria and fungi. Then just mix it and water it if it needs it. Same as what Rolly was on about earlier on. I'm using Osmuck Brew. Beautiful stuff. That's going to be a good addition to the compost. Good soaking, bung it back to brew a bit down the bottom. Right, my fox, if it dries again, then I'm going to barb wire him. The gladdies, I wrote down now, I know the timing for them. I just want a rough idea, an estimate ready for next year. Don't forget this was the first year I've grown in raised beds. That was at Odden. It was 108 days before he flowered. That would be 67. These are the pots I get from the florists. They either return these or bin them. They're perfect for the canners. I've got a few of these for next time I see you soon. And Dave at meeting. There's Russian balancing the rabbit on top. What is it? This is one of yours, Scott. This was a scented. That's the chap.
Do you know what? I've just found this morning I got a flower spike on one of mine.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Very excited. I was going to take a photo and put it up, but I thought it'd be too late for you to put it on. But
yeah,
I've just put it in the greenhouse. It's been outside, but yeah, I was very excited when I discovered that.
I've got to pop mine on.
Yeah.
I ordered some of them as well, and I've got one which is flowering now.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Since the photo for next week.
When you told us about them on this session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reading up on them, the scent is supposed to be superb.
It is, yeah.
So that'll do me. I think it's like they grow about 2.5 foot. So I've got to put in between, just in front of the dahlias for next year.
Yeah.
Then poo dahlias, I should put them in the same place again. Back of the bed on the corners.
Yeah.
These will go in front of them. Sofa. Yeah. But when his suckle's still doing well, how can you get two white and then a yellow? Strange, eh? Nice though.
Is that the evergreen one, Mick?
Yes. This is what's in the trellis here. Straw's doing well. Obviously, this was a trial as well with our show. It was first time I've grown the straws in a half basket. But I think it was a month before the show, I stopped pinching the flowers out. So it will now be a month and a half next year when I stop pinching the flowers out. Just to get more fruit on, obviously, because now they've going loop. Because the show's finished and I ain't got any talks for a couple of weeks, I've got to catch up, keep the peace with the gaffer. So I'm walloping the bottom bog out. And there's Russian. I can't even bloody get out once I'm in there. So talk about swinging a cat here or tread over the dog either. My bodyguard. Before we legged it away last Sunday, on the Saturday I was judging. This was Tanworth in Arden annual show. Solihull, it's supposed to be near Brumbury Day. It's the posh part of Solihull. And I just parked up there, as you can see them unloading cakes and whatever. to late in the school. The houses coming into it, the village, is huge. In fact, this school is huge, and the land I've got. Well, a normal village show. I think I got 3 judges for the cakes and the wine. Well, one for the wine, but there's 3 doing the cakes and jam. All WI, I think. When I was doing the veg, fruit, and flowers. And the good thing, I mean, every show you go to, you always pick someone up. Someone I've picked up here, because we use a card to put first, second, and third in on the class, whatever it is, and they just put stickers on whoever comes first. Good idea. And also, the cards are turned like that. As soon as a judge puts these on, and he clears off to the next one, they then, that flap there, just make it out underneath there. They lift that flap up, and it's got the name Judith Williams, so they know that she has come first in that class. Another good idea, because the name's hidden there, so the judge can't see it. But when he put the stickers on, good idea. Wine-wise, there's a new, where is it? A non-alcoholic cordial. That one was getting better because that was a fruit spirit. That was a berry cordial. Supposed to be some potent ones there. With these though, they don't have an auction or nothing. First show I've had for a couple of years, I was panicking, well not panicking, but fretting. Oh, I suppose we really wasn't all about if I was going to have a show or not. Because it's been a funny year and COVID and rubbish, where they got the interest and they put it on. And I was glad they did in the end. Because although stuff was down, like any other place, it was a decent show. And there was them 2 that was coming round with me. Fruit, there's a length of tables of fruit and all. Normal eating, cooking apples, pears or whatever's in season. They also put a plate out, or not a plate, a slab and a knife, thinking I was going to cut the beetroot. Because judges don't cut beetroot anymore. That went out a few years back. Leeks were almost cop. I only give them a second. You haven't got to give anybody a first place if you don't think they're worth anything. Well, at the first place, that's why you got a second. But these lot, as I explained to these 2, they need me talk on growing veg for show and then preparing veg for show. And that's what I'm going to have soon. So I did these a talk last year sometime. That's why they've gone older than us. This is a novice class. Have a go, floating flowers. And it's just to get them in. Just for them that have never exhibited before. Somewhat easy. Obviously that'll be no good in our show because you've got to leave everything in. And flower arrangements, the foliage wise, superb because I like my variegated leaf, as you know, on my cannas and whatever. Variegated colours on these, beautiful. But that'll go a bomb on our auction, and that one next door to it. Crowning glory. Flowers in a cup and saucer. Small is beautiful. That was minute, that little chap. Then all the jams and preserves. They've got a stand with cakes on and all, 3-tier stand. obviously only one exhibited that one. That was something different. And loads of care. Me and the dead dogs, I took a photo. You know, on the lemon curd there. That was me having a piddle for left for home in the little boy's room. And that's their waste paper bin. I thought I could nick that for Sue for one of the canners. I thought, no, I'll be on camera. So I'll go to the forest. And that was just for I legged it. But that was pleased they had it. Meant the effort was somebody obviously wanted me with our show. Because there's a couple on the committee who didn't want the show. So I overruled, says we'll have it, and we got away with it. On the way back home, this motorway, M42, then M5, junction 4 near the dash, Singleton's nursery, so I just legged it in there to see them. Because we've lost our supply for our trading sheds, i.e. fertilisers. So I need to go in there and sort them out. But because it was a weekend, the gaffers don't work a weekend. So I've got to go in Tuesday morning on. I've got to get price list off them. We've got this KG Loach is up north somewhere. I've got prices of all this stuff. And I'm going to give them to these and say, can you beat these prices? Because if you don't, I'm going to use them. Or we're going to use them. And see what they come back with anyway. But every compost, that's what I used to have before. I think that was $4.50 a bag, maybe £7 now. 24, that's £8.5 new max. Jesus, but and that's this year. Then prices are going to move again next year. And while I was there, bought some ericaceous compost for my blueberries. I've got 2 blueberries to pot on later on. Someone's been in touch with me, and they've said a couple of Zooms and whatever. And they've said, will you give us a talk? It's to a WI group of women's. It's only up the road, Blackheath, about 50 members. And he says, can you give us a talk when you're in the mob, your exploits? I thought, go on, Bennett. I says, when do you want the talk? It says 2 years away. I thought, Jesus, what, 2 years? He says, you've got a price? I says, well, it's going to change within 2 years. Especially the fuel goes up and your road up. So I'm going to sort out, obviously get all my old photos out from start to finish when I joined for leaving. So that'll be a good one, some good stories in there. Because when I was in the last ship, HMS Tartar, and the Queen went out, we used to go around on Britannia, around the world, there's always a ship looking after her, and we looked after her in the West Indies. We went to Vera Cruz, Mexico. We did guard for her there and whatever. But, I got Fairless camera, moving ashore, I'm ready to take film because I went in a limousine around the streets. The bloody locals, Fairless Tequila and bloody K-Line and Mr. Queen David. Mother says, do you get the film of the Queen? I says, no, can't be there. And there's us, all got our hats off, 3 cheers as it went past. Obviously this was took by the ship's photographer on the Britannia. There's old Liz and Bobby. Right, this little chap climbing up here, this was that plant that's in the same family as a tater. He's gone bloody loop and he's going haywire. And also, there's one down the bottom here, He's had no flowers on whatsoever, as you can see there. And all of a sudden, he started flowering. A bit late, better than nothing. I mean, we had all this growth last year, but there's no flowers on.
That's the Solanum, Mick.
Sorry?
That's the Solanum.
Is that the same as the spud one, the tater?
Yeah.
Ah.
All belong to the same family.
Oh, that's growth coming out the bottom then. Ah, I thought it was a different plant altogether.
Watch them, some of them are poisonous.
I think the top one's I think the top one a different colour, different blue, darker. We'll see any road. Right, last Sunday, down Pompey. Reunion. These two was there early. We're supposed to have met up. I think it's 12:15. Start the sesh. These two are there on time. You come by train. He's early anyway, Phil. Organised this, meaning they got a decent table for all of us. 5 there at the moment, as you can see. And straight opposite that road there, that's where the sea was. Like the harbour is up here. Dockyard is that road. John Smith, Desert Boots. So I legged it while I was still sober to get some seaweed. On the Hound. Hello, Lucian. Sit down. Good girl. I legged it over the road. This was later on, because when I did leg it over, the tide was in, right up to here. I couldn't get it on. So I had to wait a bit, have a couple of pints. First of all, let me read this off here. A couple of years ago, we was on about why we all joined the mob. Basically, it was to get away from Mum. And that was with 4 out of the 6 of us who met up this time. And we thought we'd had hard life, not hard lives, but well, hard enough to leave home anyway. And then Colin, that's my mate who I picked up from Swindon. He's dying of cancer in hospital, chemo and all this crap. So he escaped from hospital for a day. I helped him out, and the last drink he had was a horse. And the next drink, I mean, he only has 3 pints all day, but he wants to enjoy himself if he does get. But he told us why he left home. He didn't call it home. Basically, he was an orphan, and they give him to a woman who got 15 kids. Jesus, what meaning? He was a runt, so he had crap off everybody. And a couple of years before he joined the mob, whether they give him or sold him or whatever, but he had to work for a Roman circus for about 6 months, meaning he had basically a shit life. An Ocelot compared our life to his, or the bring up. Bloody hell, couldn't believe it. Anyway, he joined the mob, and we have to start in the annex before you go into HMS Ganges yourself over the road, shore base. And the annex, they try to crack you in the sense that they don't want wimps and all this crap. And he says they would have never cracked me. We said, well, bloody hell, we understand that now. Because when you join the mob, obviously you get the training, you get a train ticket, and they meet you at the station, bring you in, and it's something like dinner time. So you get your kip and everything. And on the morning, that's the first time ever he can ever remember having a full English breakfast or a proper breakfast. So he was a man of the match. I did get my seaweed. And Phil, because what's happened with the Queen, he bought some Pusser's rum. British Navy Pusser's rum, gunpowder proof. That was evil. Nice enough. Now, if I start on the beer, I don't mix. I call mix. It sends me bloody loop. Right, I just had a sip with the rest of the night. Good brew. Right, tide had gone out a bit, enough for me to get my seaweed. So I got my seaweed in. So there's a dockyard there, as you can see. And the carrier that was in was around the corner, couldn't see it. That's HMS Warrior. If anybody's been out of Pompey, that's worth a nose round. That was steam and sail, but the guns on it, Gordon Bennett, and that's solid steel, not like nowadays. But I brought me seaweed back home, and that's where I filled my bag up, took it back to the van, and bumped it in the van. But I left that out, somebody had nicked it from the Midlands. That's when I just brought my seaweed back on. But it was a beautiful day, all day, nice bit of sun. Beer was going down well, so I got some grubbing, just a snack on. You got to eat, you're having a sesh. And the new lad that who turned up, I think it'd been about an hour or something. He finally come in, Darby Allen, and when we joined, we was all given a case like this. I've never ever seen a matlow walking around with a bloody case like this. Well, it was just a carrier crap. But he still got his, and he brought it along. And you got everybody in the mess to sign. There's my signature. Couldn't believe it. There's me. This was on our first ship when we left training school. And there's Darby Allen there. And there he is now. First time I've seen him for bloody moons. Good lad, he turned up. I saw Slot legging it back to the Premier Inn was only around the corner. Our Boozer, Ship Hanson was just down here. Well, I'm on that one. That was that's an entrance into the dockyard. So when I was there, in the barracks, was the ship was in refit. I was on at the time. I used to, on a weekend, you'd be coming out this way to go on the weekend or whatever, and I used to smuggle out pipe tobacco for the old man. And that was it. Still got a couple of tins, obviously the minty. But it used to be like a cherry smell, black cherry, something like that. And Fair used to love it. Until he found out that the same as the fags, the blue liners, that was meant from sweepings off the floor, more the fag factories. And that was the blue liners. They were strong as hell. Still got a couple of packets, obviously empty. Warned by the government, smoke can damage your health. On the other side was soaked with bullets. That was me window from the Premier Inn. Obviously that main gate was down here. You can see the Victory now. That's worth a per round and all. But it was a good Sunday. It's great having a Sunday. Obviously it was this chapper in the Premier Inn, because I don't get many in. But it's good to meet up with the troops. Every 6 months we meet up now. Another quick photo of them back. This is getting worse next door. Seaweed. Pop that on. Oh yeah, Lucian. Well, I've got space at the end of the tunnel, top of the garden. So we've got my longest tray out. I've just bugged him on there just for now. But he's got to be dried off. Once he's dried off, then I'll put him through the shredder. Or I might try, if he's completely dry, I'll try and chop him up first with the shears in the bucket and put him through the shredder. Hounds obviously got to inspect them. Right, taking the hound for a walk in the morning, where the council had run over me comfrey, chopped it all down, it started going back up again, so I'm just borrowing a few at a time. And my nettles, new growth of nettles again. There's quite a few started going to seed, but now there's new growth again. I don't know seed it. Good thing about the doggy bags, bung them in there. Luckily they just cut the grass as well, which is something to go get at them again, so we chuck that as well. Right, my late blackberry, this one, it's gone a little, well, see when he's died off there. So I'm going to chop him off. So I've got new growth there. So that's where I've chopped him. He would now be my leader. He can carry on. Hopefully. So everything's doing well. The seaweed is drying out. In fact, I should get some more trays out and bung them down here. Just once I've got a bit more room. And the strawberries are still doing well. The stuff out of the house, like the trailers, them were brought out to water. These are the last of my gladies this side. It spuds them in there. Obviously it's still picking the raspberries as well. Once the gladies are picked, then I'll chop them down to about 10 inches or something. So the rest of that lot out the leaves will go back into the corn ready for next year. Take my canes out and dry them off. This is only wet here because I've waited this long. We ain't had no rain now for a week or so. In fact, this afternoon I filled my way to butt up. Those are both dry, top of the garden. These lot, as soon as he's gone, well, I might chop him off anyway. But these are going to be sorted out as well. Because if you remember when I started off my raised bed, the first thing I had when I finished last year, or just for crimbo, I put some bulbs in, tulips and whatever. And then tulips I've got up out of that. That'll be going in here, these three. So we've got a bit of colour in the spring.
Nick, it's 7:59.
Bossed in. What's the next one? These lot have gone loop on the top of the garden. Best year I've ever had. So obviously I'll keep feeding them. But they're nice to see on your road. Right, 8 o'clock people, just going to have a quick minute thinking of our mate. Okay, people, thanks for that. Cheers, Liz. You've done us proud. Right, there's everything is growing loop again here, obviously. Well, it's good if I'm going to keep bloody feeding it, isn't it? But that's what we want. Well, we've still got we still do it. We're still having some sunny days. And what you want to see is a bit of colour. So if we keep feeding and watering, you're going to get it. These lot, as soon as they flower, I mentioned before, I can take the flowers off. There's my 2 blueberries at the back. They will be potted on later on. This one, until I'm using my own compost as a growing medium, because I've got tomatoes coming through. Nothing kills off tomato seed. I'm just going back on there, you can see a new shoot. Although the plant itself looks crap when I had it, he's going to look nice because I'm going to look after him. And that same blackberry in that one, both have the same growing medium. I've had some salts again. He's alright. He's legging it along there. I want him right at the end before he gives up for the winter. But still a good bit of colour. The dahlias is doing well. In fact, I've cut them back this afternoon. They're overtaking everything else. Well, I did. It was got a good broad room. Bougainvillea in the middle there. That much green on it. It's covering them. You can just see it behind. The purple of the leaves. Looks like flowers and leaves, really. And them are done well. Trying petunia. Should be doing them again next year. Scented. These are on 70% off now, we'll go. So I'll job them. These will do me planters. If not the raised bed itself, and then 3 raised beds just outside the patio. That was a good buy. I think it cost a tenner. That's all I got in Wilco. But it was just 1 coat, which less bloody hassle. I've only got to do it once. I've got half a tin left. I did all that little bog, 3 doors, and all the woodwork. Sure, I'm getting some show time tonight, you know. Right, our next talk is Justin Harrison, Thursday, 6th of October, on Autumn Splendour. Then presentation night. And then that's the lot for this year. Start jobbing for next year. I've got all the speakers in for next year. I'm bung them on next week through. Oh, my mate's been back again. Dug it out again. That was still there. So I've got to job this top. So go back on that one. I've wedged that cane solid in between that and that, and done the one the other side. Pegged them in as well anyway. Now I've got this to do the soil, the garden edges either side, the grass. But now I'm going to bung that on the top here, all along the back, just in case it's jumping over there. So that is stapled to that. That's tied to that. That's nice and solid. And that's across there. So just stopping him getting up this way. So now for him to get in, he's got to come up the pathway or further down the garden. Plus, I'm going to put this lot along the floor as well. Stop him digging. It's worked under the trellis where I put that metal stuff, stop him digging. So I'm going to bung this down as well, and that's what I've done. So I've lifted that lot, put that right underneath, and I've pegged them in. They can't bloody dig them out unless he is a SAS Fox. That's that lot done. That's all down there and all down that back side as well. The hound can still walk on it. See if that works. Still feeding, still watering. You'll see there that is about 3:30 on afternoon. I'm just coming into the sun, and they get 2.5 hours, 3 hours of sun. It's done well. Right, this was the Liz's coffin coming down from Edinburgh, landing at UK, obviously. Anybody seen that? If they turned that upside down, that would be Liz, wouldn't it? That would be good. Observation. Love seeing stuff, well, being bloody ex-forces anyway. Love seeing stuff like this. Beautiful sunny day for them. Good job. And for the public. Get that for the picture. Beautiful. He shed a few tears that afternoon. Anybody notice Charlie's hand? How swollen it was. Through shaking hands with the public. Cape Goosegobs. Loads of these coming on now. I took a few off, which I put in for the show. On the little fruit tray. But these are beautiful taste. Mrs. likes them all. So I should be doing him again next year. Turning my seaweed daily. Got 3 trays in now. It's not as thick, so it's going to dry out better. Obviously, Russian comes in. You can get away with it, start digging. Select seeds are set their catalogues out. They compost it. He's a good man. A few more gladdies up. But I think there's only 4 left now. But I've done a display for the kitchen.
That lost a cracker, Mick.
Couple of naffins in there. Naffin. Oh, I'll just pull the crap off the bottom.
There's some nice colour there, Mick.
Yeah. There's a couple of prims in there as well, my new ones. Them should be better next year. The corms, when I grow them. Still feeding these, as I mentioned. And all the rest of the canners.
Really beautiful, mate. The garden.
As most of these chopped now. I think there's 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 gladdies left, and then that'll be it. But I'm still feeding all this lot because I'm still eating them. And the grapevines. I'm feeding them outside and inside. Don't forget that planted outside, then coming into the greenhouse. So the roots will be out there mainly, but just in case I spread under this way as well. I'm feeding and watering both sides. I want to get the length on the grapes. It's my ericaceous compost ready, but these are working their way well. Went down the trading shed during the week. Was the 8-foot thick canes which we got. The ones we're getting now, the replacements. The price has shot up, but they're crap. The canes are crap, and they're only half the size of these. So the old ones we got in stock. I think I had 20 canes out. Decent ones, straight ones. 8 foot. And that's for me sweet peas next year for our show. You can see now, getting a nice bit of sun on them. So I'm still looking after them. They've done well behind there. So for years we've been living here. I've never done nothing. Because I thought, well, it's in the dark, you can't do sod all. But obviously, when the sun goes round, they have the sun, even though it's only 3.5 hours or something. It's better than now. When you wallop the side of that shed white and that wall white, that repels the light back onto them. Still wait for this little chap. He's just about to burst open. I mean, it's going to be 4 years since we had flower on these. They started doing oh, Suey, I'm peeing me off now. That's why I like it. Beautiful. Right, this is what the council bring out. I'm supposed to send them everybody in Dudley gets a free one in there. No, they don't. We don't get one. We have to get this off the mate. Put it inside. This was all about Mary Stevens Park and Priory Park. About getting the Green Flag Award, which was down here, which our allotment had a few years back. Basically because of the kids involved and the disabled. But they never give our allotment site any mention whatsoever until the last time they put this out. I emailed them and told them off. Now we've got to mention the Abbey Road allotments. Also, I'd like to congratulate the Allotment Association at Abbey Road allotments for retaining their status. Assholes. Also, I said so they wouldn't give us a bloody mention. And also, our Ben was in with his Black Country clip. Black Country artwork. Paul, look at this, Lucifer. Look at him. I've sent for 5 seeds. Paul, meal still there? Has he gone home? He's going to get a bottle out of the fridge. I'll move on.
No, I'm still here, I guess. I've already got it. I've already got it. I had 3 in a pack. 3 in a pack, and he takes flowered, yeah.
Good a guess, you know. Right, jerk chicken. We had this during the week. What we do now, we have the packets of frozen rice, obviously ready done, and you just bung them in the microwave. Now, Rushan likes a rice, so I started looking at this. Well, I like a veg as well. There's only peas, sweet corn, and carrots in. So I looked at the packet. Turmeric was the only spice that was used, so I googled that, and that was good for dogs. Well, not good, but well, yes, dogs could tolerate it in moderation, same as milk, and so well, that was all right. And looked at sweet corn, so I googled that. Sweet corn is okay for dogs, but not the cobs themselves. And this was in the paper the next day, and I read it, and somebody took the dog to the vets. They'd had the meal and left the plates on the top of the table, obviously. But they'd left the cobs, what the sweet corn was on, and the dog ate the bloody cob. And they can't digest and block the passageway up and everything. And, well, they nearly lost the dog. It cost them bloody pounds, must it? So sweet corn is okay for dogs, not the cobs. So, and now as a load of rice, I don't really do chicken though. I don't leave it on. Everything's still doing well. Sweet peas are gone haywire. Top of the garden. If I'd have had there's Brenda's bra. I'm trying to get that in. If I'd have had these for the show, it'd been brilliant. I could only muster 4, I think it was 6 I needed. I still put sweet peas in and one with them, but I've got 6 long ones. And the roses as well. If I'd have got 3 in like that, put them in. But I didn't. Well, That's on show day, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. Delphinium's still going good. Tied him up, as you can see. I've got to tie that one up. Mycorrhizal fungi, this is my last bag. The price of this is rocketed, same as everything else. So they used to give me chip, but they've been bought over by somebody else. So I've lost my contact. I've got a few talks coming up. I think it's 5 talks. So I need more of this anyway.
Don't you buy it direct, Mick?
Sorry?
Don't you buy the mycorrhizal direct from them down in
yeah, but the price has near enough doubled.
Oh, bloody hell. Glad I got a full bag then.
Yeah. People ain't going to buy it.
But it's still a fraction of the price as what it is in little bloody 900 gram bags.
Yeah. But, I mean, I could still flog it, but it'd be off the just 400 gram. It'll be 200 gram.
Yeah.
But I'll see what I can get out on them. Tell them I'll advertise them, whatever.
I've got a full bag of it, so I mean,
yeah,
I'm well okay for it.
Yeah, but it has everything has shot through the roof. This is drying out perfectly, especially now because we're in sunny days.
Yeah.
Although tonight ain't supposed to be that cold. Well, we've had two cold nights here.
Jumping in again on the seaweed, I made a tea bag up out of a bloody trouser leg, stuck it in the big water cauldron where I dipped the watering can in, and watered all bloody stump carrots and non-carrots and everything else with it. And anything else that didn't move got it. And I'd done away with slugs and snails for 3 years afterwards. Because of that. So that was Anglesey seaweed, that was.
Yeah.
It is good brew. Stuff.
Is that the salt on it that's causing that?
Causing what?
The slugs and snails.
Well, yeah, I mean, all I'd done, like Phil got it up when there was a storm up there and he bagged it up and we done a swap for some bags of seaweed for some bags of sheep daggings. And all I'd done, I dried some. It never went through the shredder any sense, to be honest, even when it was dry. But the other stuff, I just made a bag up out of an old trouser leg with cable tie either end, else brick in it to make it sink, and a bit of string on it. Stuck it in a big 500-litre barrel, and when I used to get some, I used to pull the bit of string to sort of stir it up, and I never washed it or anything, so it never killed. Well, to be honest, I'll try and dig some pictures out somewhere. They were some of the best, sweet candle carrots I ever grown. I still got a picture of them somewhere, and they was cracking all the way through. And it must have been the salt, like you say, that done the worms and the snails in, but it was cracking stuff. I'd like the same again.
See, originally when I got seaweed, when I was trying it, I used to get it back home and swill it off, swill the salts off. But I've since found out the salts that are on there are good salts.
Yeah, good salts, yeah.
So now I don't swill off for nothing.
I suppose if you get it from Anglesey, it's all the shit that's run out of bloody Liverpool down there, isn't it? To make it grow.
But good brew. Don't need too much of them. Right, top raised bed. You can't see on the left, sorry. That's where my framework is there. And I've filled them holes, top of the bricks, same as these. And I've walloped that the same colour as that. Just makes it look a bit better. So I'm doing the same with that one as well. I've got spare outdoor filler. So I'm just bunging paper in, bits of paper, pushing them in with scissors and then filling them. Working away along. Needs a lot of job this afternoon. That's another blackberry. I'll soon be thinking where I'm going to put all my fruit trees. I've got to do another plan and sort that lot out. But beans now, they've started coming, because I'm still spraying as well and feeding. Hordes on them. And there's my Carolina Reaper. Obviously, try to get him in focus. Two that are turning. But he's one of the biggest, but he's still green, obviously. But I've thinned all the top growth out of these as well, where I haven't got fruit on. So I've got all the food and energy going into the fruits that I'm on there now. Because I want a bit of meat on them and then to turn colour. In fact, I'll bring a banana skin out tomorrow and hang it over the bottom branch.
We tried one with you.
Sorry?
We tried one.
Get out of it.
That's why we got away from the grill.
You good sucking.
Oh, you will.
He's lovely, eh? Was this a couple of days ago? Yes. Grandkids. Doing the old coffin. Good on them. Just go back on that one. We was on about earlier on, 4 of the 6 of us in our reunion, we left home, joined the mob to get away from home, which is very similar to Harry. He left home day to get away from home. But luckily Charlie says you wear your uniform. Lie in the coffin. Good lad. I think Charlie will do well as king. He'll get rid of the old few old century traditions which be served with a uniform. Now it's well guarded around the coffin because he is ex-SAS. And tomorrow it's going to be a Boston day for our mate. It's going to be a spectacular and well-deserved send-off for our Liz. One final thought. Liz Truss, is she the only Prime Minister to serve a Queen and a King? I can't think of anybody else. And that's it for tonight, people.
Thanks, Mick. Brilliant.
You think?
Hope you have enjoyed that.
Yeah. Very much.
Thanks, Mick.
There will be a Zoom next week. There ain't no what's it anymore. Worm wheels. There's them free Zooms. Hell no, that ain't bad.
What do you mean free Zooms, mate? Don't have to pay subs anymore.
No, you ain't gonna pay no subs anymore, nothing like that.
Okay.
It's only 14 quid a month for the Zoom. I can cope with that.
Okay. I don't know. I remember when I was in Yorkshire. I said on that last talk I did. I found an angelica plant in someone's garden.
Oh.
And she said she'd send me some seeds, and she sent them to me this when I got back from holiday. Yeah, they were. So they got a whole envelope of angelica seeds. If anybody wants any, contact us, or if you want any, Mick, I'll send them to you or whatever.
Oh, bro.
Do or not. Just message me or whatever, and I'll send some out.
I'll Zoom them, see how tall they grow now, boy. It's finding room in it.
I know. I put 10 in yesterday, but I don't know where we're going to put them if they do come. The seeds are still a bit moist, and she said that she'd looked up on the internet and said that they're better to be sown when they're a little bit moist. So we'll see.
Yeah, I should have a few Gladicormets. I've started getting them up. I was going to bung the photos on the end of this, but I'll keep for next week.
You want to be at least 6 weeks, Mick, after your flower, and leave as many leaves on as you can.
Yeah, I've got labels on the old.
Right, I'm off, folks. I'll see you next week. Let us know,
bye,
Paul,
Colin.
about that.
I will go. I'll give you a
what you
text.
want. All right, see ya.
Cheers, Carl, mate.
Hey, Colin.
Colin.
Anybody's got a couple of photos for next week?
Yeah, I'll dig some. I'm sure I got some from the show I done, where I actually won some prizes. So where I do all my playing about, it just proves that I do grow things.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll look them out and send them up, Mick.
Good man.
Going to Malvern, Mick?
Sorry?
Are you going to Malvern?
No, mate.
I am. So if you want anything from there, I'll take some photos.
Oh. Good idea. Pour him in the dark, mate.
I've got the kitchen light on, but
But
that's all we can afford. Yeah.
Who said that?
Shame. Put our bloody heating on last night.
Liz Truss is going to send you a shilling up from me.
We're putting jumpers on down here.
Pence, that's all.
That's what bloody
Yeah, it's got to be cold down here now, isn't it?
Pence a unit.
Yeah.
It'll be in summer next week.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's what they've said. Well, that's what they've said. Whether
Okay,
they mean
right.
like this week or next week, after, I don't know.
Oh, that's
They
just
said
for us in
Indian summer.
Essex. Just for us in Essex.
It's the same time every year for you, lot, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, people. See you all
All right,
next week.
Yeah.
Cheers,
See you next
Dale.
week.
See you all.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Mick.
See you all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ta-ra, mate.
Bye.